Captain Marcus Powell stood on the observation deck of the Earth Defense Station. He looked out at the dark space beyond the thick glass windows. Stars filled the black sky like diamonds scattered on black cloth. Powell had served in the military for 20 years. He had seen many things. He had fought in small battles. He had made hard choices. But nothing had prepared him for the message that came 3 hours ago. The Galactic Council had sent a message to Earth. The message was simple and clear. Either humans must give up all their land in the Orion sector, or the Council would destroy all human ships, all human colonies, and all human life. The Council gave humanity 72 hours to decide. Powell read the words again on his small computer screen. The translation was clear. The Council did not see humans as important. They saw humans as a small problem that got in the way of what they wanted to do. The Council thought humans were weak. The Council thought humans had old weapons and weak defenses. The Council was sure that humans would give up or die. Powell smiled a little. The Council was wrong. A soft sound came from the door. Dr. Elena Rodriguez walked into the room. She was younger than Powell. She was smart in ways that made other smart people look simple. She moved like someone who already knew what would happen next. The Council sent the message to all human colonies, Elena said. She stood next to Powell and looked at the stars. People are scared. Many want to give up. Many want to run away. Some want to fight. But they do not know how to fight something so big and so powerful. Powell did not take his eyes off the stars. What about the arsenal? Elena turned to look at him. Her face showed a small smile. It is ready. We just waited for the Council to attack first. Now we have a good reason. Now the leaders on Earth will let us use it. Powell nodded. He knew about the arsenal. Very few people on Earth knew about it. Less than 100 people had the secret. The program started 30 years ago. It started when people on Earth realized that the big powers in space could destroy them any time. They started to think, could they build something that would make them strong? Could they build weapons that were better than anything the big powers had? Most people thought it was impossible. But the smart people on Earth did not give up. They worked for 30 years. They learned things that no one else knew. They found secrets in how the universe worked. Dr. James Patterson was the first person to find something important. He found that space and time had secrets that no one knew about. He found that you could change how space worked if you knew the right way. This was not like old weapons that shoot hot light or fast metal. This was different. This was more powerful. The arsenal did not work like that. It did the impossible. It changed space itself around a target. It pulled space in ways that should not happen. It tore things apart in ways that weapons could not protect against. How many of the Council ships can we stop? Powell asked. Elena looked at her small computer. Her fingers moved fast over the glass screen. Numbers and words appeared in the air above the device. The Council sent 17 big ships, Elena said. These ships are very strong. They have weapons we know about. They have shields we can break. But they cannot stop what we have. We need only 4 of our weapons to destroy all 17 ships. 3 would work if we do it right. But 4 is safer. Powell felt something happen inside him. He had carried fear since the message came. The fear was gone now. He felt ready. He felt strong. Humanity would not run. Humanity would not give up. Humanity would show the Council something they did not expect. Start Operation Reckoning, Powell said. His voice was quiet but hard like stone. Let the Council learn what we built. Elena moved her fingers across her computer. Across the world, in different places, people began to turn on machines. Deep under the Pacific Ocean, in the bottom of the Earth, 6 big weapons woke up. Lights turned on. Power began to move through cables and tubes. The machines started to sing a song that only they could understand. On the planet Mars, far away in space, 3 more weapons began to wake up. Scientists and soldiers worked fast. They checked every part of every machine. They made sure everything was ready. The machines were hungry. They had waited for 30 years down in space, hiding between rocks and dead material. Other weapons waited. 3 more weapons sat in the dark. They hid from every sensor and every eye. They hid so well that even the most powerful machines in the galaxy could not see them. But they were there. They were ready. They were waiting. The military people on Earth started to move fast. Soldiers got on ships. Ships moved to new places. The old defense stations got new guards. Everyone knew that something big was coming. Everyone knew that the world was about to change. In the news, people heard that the council sent a message. Governments in every country met and talked. Some people said to fight. Some people said to run. Some people said to give up. But the leaders of Earth made a choice. They chose to trust the arsenal. They chose to believe that 30 years of hard work and smart thinking would be enough. Powell left the observation deck and walked through the halls of the station. He passed soldiers and scientists. Everyone looked at him. Everyone knew who he was. Everyone knew what his order meant. The galaxy was going to learn something new. The galaxy was going to learn that humans were not weak. The council did not know that the arsenal existed. The council did not know that Earth had spent 30 years learning secrets about how the universe worked. The council did not know that human minds had found ways to do things that the old powers thought were impossible. Powell walked to the weapons control room. Long tables sat in rows. Computers blinked with lights. Young soldiers and smart scientists sat at each table. They looked up when Powell came in. Every eye turned to him. Every mind was ready. In 1 hour, Powell said, the council ships will come close enough to see. When they come close enough, we will show them something new. We will show them that Earth is not a small problem. We will show them that humanity has teeth. We will show them that they made a bad choice when they decided to attack us. The people in the room understood. They knew what Powell meant. They knew what was going to happen. Some felt fear. Some felt anger. But all of them felt something else. They felt proud. They felt like they were part of something big. Something that would change history. Powell went back to the observation deck. He looked at the stars again. Somewhere out there, the council ships were moving toward Earth. They thought the trip would be easy. They thought Earth would either give up or die. They thought wrong. Elena joined him at the window. The arsenal is ready, she said. Everything is in place. When the ships come close, we will send them a message. We will tell them to leave. And when they do not listen, we will show them why they should have. Powell nodded. He was calm now. He had made the choice. He had given the order. Now they would wait and see what happened next. The galaxy had no idea what was coming. The galaxy had no idea who had built the weapons that would change everything. The galaxy was about to learn. The Vorthon battle group moved through space with no fear. The ships were big and strong. They had beaten many enemies before. Castellan Vress was the commander. He was very old and had won many battles. He had taken over 47 worlds. He did not think Earth would be hard. He thought Earth would take maybe 4 hours to finish. Vress was not like other commanders. He was smart. He was quick. His body was long and thin. His mind worked in ways that were hard and cold. He looked at numbers and facts. He did not care about right or wrong. He only cared about winning and being strong. The first scans of Earth showed that the planet had some ships. The planet had some places in space that had weapons. but nothing looked like it could hurt the Vorthen. The Vorthen had ships that could break apart planets. They had weapons that could burn whole cities in 1 second. Earth had nothing that could stop them. "Send a message to the planet," Vress said. His voice was hard and flat. "Tell them they have one last chance. Tell them to give up now, or we will burn everything." The communication officer typed on his board. The message went down to Earth. It took only a few seconds to arrive. Captain Marcus Powell appeared on the screen that showed the message. He looked right at Vress. His face did not show fear. His eyes did not move away. "I am Captain Marcus Powell," the human said. His voice came through a machine that changed his sounds into words that Vorthen could understand. "I speak for all humans on Earth. You need to leave this space right now. You have 1 hour to go away, or we will make you go away." Vress made a sound. It was his way of laughing. A human was giving orders to the Vorthen. A small human from a weak planet was talking like they had power. It was funny and stupid at the same time. "You order us?" Vress said. His words came out hard and mean. "Your species does nothing. Your species sits on a small planet with weapons that break if you hit them hard. You are nothing. You are small. We give you this choice. Give up and live on a small world that we let you have, or we will kill every human on your planet. We will burn your cities. We will break your ships. We will kill your children and your mothers. You have no choice. You have only death or surrender." The human on the screen did not move. He did not blink. He did not look scared. "You were warned," Powell said. And then the screen went black. Vress felt anger move through him. A human dared to speak to him like that. A human dared to ignore the Vorthen. Vress would make them sorry. He would make them understand that the Vorthen were the most powerful. He would show them pain. "Ready the weapons," Vress said. His voice was cold and hard. "Target their biggest cities. Start firing in 3 minutes. I want no human to be alive on that planet by tomorrow. I want them to see their world burn. I want them to understand what happens when they say no to the Vorthen." The weapons officers moved fast. They loaded the fire commands. They picked the big cities where most humans lived. They made the computers ready to send death down to the planet below. 3 minutes was long enough for the arsenal to wake up completely. In 7 different places. From the bottom of the Pacific Ocean to Mars to the rocks in space, the arsenal sent energy into the world. The energy moved fast. It moved faster than anything in the galaxy. It moved faster than light itself. The energy changed and shaped space around the Vorthen ships. The first big Vorthen ship was at the front. Its name was the Terror of Worlds. It had killed millions of people on different planets. It had never been hurt. It had never lost a fight. Space around the Terror of Worlds became wrong. The atoms in the ship's metal began to stretch. They pulled in directions that did not make sense. The ship's shields could not stop this, because shields work by pushing things away. But the arsenal did not push. The arsenal pulled. The arsenal changed what space meant. The Terror of Worlds came apart. It did not break like a thing breaks. It changed. The metal pulled itself into shapes that metal cannot be in. The people inside the ship felt their bodies do things that bodies cannot do. In 1 second, the ship and everyone on it just stopped being real. The second and third ships tried to run away. They began to move fast. They pointed their engines away from Earth. They wanted to escape. But the arsenal was ready for them. The weapons fired again. Space changed again around the 2 ships. They pulled apart like the first ship. They became not real. The 4th ship's commander was not as slow as the others. He felt the change in space. He understood that something was very wrong. He ordered the emergency jump. The ship's engines pushed harder than they ever pushed before. The ship began to move away from normal space into faster-than-light space. The arsenal's fire reached for it, but the ship was faster. It jumped away just in time. The fire burned the space where the ship had been, but the ship was already gone. Castellan Vrest did not live to understand what happened. He was standing on the bridge of the Terror of Worlds when the space around the ship changed. He saw his computers break. He saw his officers' bodies do things that bodies should not do. He tried to run, but space was already changing all around him. His last thought was confusion. His last feeling was wrong. And then he was not there anymore. The other Vorthan ships in the battle group saw what happened. They saw their commander's ship come apart. They saw the second and third ships disappear. They saw the fourth ship jump away to safety. They knew that something had gone very wrong. The Vorthan wanted to fight. They wanted to send weapons at Earth, but they were scared now. They were scared of something that they could not see and could not understand. They sent commands to run. Some ships jumped to faster-than-light space. Some tried to go back the way they came. All of them wanted to get away from Earth as fast as they could dot. In less than 3 minutes, the threat was gone. No Vorthan ship remained in Earth's space. The ones that could run had run away. The ones that stayed had come apart. On Earth, in the command center, Captain Powell watched the screens show that all the enemy ships were gone or broken. Elena Rodriguez stood next to him. She did not smile. She did not celebrate. She only looked at the numbers and facts. "Send a message to all human military people," Powell said. "Tell them to stay ready. Tell them to watch for more council ships. Tell them to report anything that moves in our space. The council will come back. The council will be angry. The council will want to know what happened here." Elena nodded. She understood. The first battle was won, but the war was not over. The hard part was still coming. They had shown that they had power. Now they had to show that they had wisdom. They had to show that humans were more than just weapons. The galaxy did not know what had happened in Earth's space. But soon the galaxy would know. Soon the galaxy would learn that humans were not as weak as the council thought. Soon the galaxy would understand that Earth had something new, something dangerous, something that would change everything. The Grand Council chamber on Vethran Prime was very quiet. The silence was heavy. The silence was thick. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved. They all sat and listened to what Admiral Zexter told them. "4 ships are gone," Zexter said. His voice was loud and clear. "The Terror of Worlds is gone. The Storm Bearer is gone. The Twilight Destroyer is gone. The 4th ship, the Void Cutter, jumped to faster-than-light space. Only the Void Cutter escaped. 14,000 soldiers are dead. The Vorthan lost one of their greatest commanders." The council members looked at each other. This had never happened before. In 10,000 years, the Vorthan had never lost a full battle group. In 10,000 years, the council had never seen a ship come apart the way the message described. The way the ships just stopped being real. "What weapon did the humans use?" asked Counselor Faz. He was very old. He had seen many wars. He had seen many weapons. But he had never heard of a weapon like this. "We do not know," Zexter said. He did not like to say that he did not know something. The humans used no weapon that our sensors could see. There was no energy beam. There was no plasma fire. There was no shock wave from an explosion. Something changed space around our ships. Something made space work in a way that it should not work. Our best people are still trying to understand what happened. Counselor Mara from the Kelthian delegation spoke up. "This is a weapon unlike anything in the galaxy. We must respond with full force. We must send every ship we have. We must show that the Council is still the most powerful. We must show that no one can attack the Council and live." Some of the other council members agreed with Mara. They wanted to send ships. They wanted to send so many ships that Earth would have no chance. They wanted to crush Earth so hard that no human would ever want to fight again. But Zexter held up his hand. "Wait," he said. "We do not understand this weapon. If we send ships with old weapons and old shields, they might be destroyed like the first group. We might lose hundreds of ships. We might lose thousands of soldiers. That is not winning. That is not smart. What do you suggest?" asked Councillor Foss. "I suggest that we send a peace offer," Zexter said. "We tell the humans that the Council wishes to talk. We tell them that we want to understand this weapon. We tell them that perhaps we can make an agreement where the humans keep their space and the Council keeps our space." "They will not listen," Mara said. "They will see this as weakness. They will think we are afraid." "They will be right," Zexter said. "I am afraid. Any commander who is not afraid of a weapon he does not understand is a fool. But being afraid can be smart. Fear can make us careful. Fear can make us think before we act." "This is good." The council voted. Most of the members agreed with Zexter. They would send a peace offer. They would send a small group with a scientific ship. They would try to understand what the humans had built. Admiral Zexter himself would go to Earth. This was unusual. The head of the council's military did not usually leave his seat in the chamber. But Zexter understood something that the younger leaders did not. He understood that this was important. He understood that what happened on Earth would change the galaxy. A message was sent to Earth. The message was respectful. The message said that Admiral Zexter wanted to meet with Captain Powell. The message said that the Council was willing to talk about a peaceful end to the conflict. On Earth, Powell and Elena read the message together. Elena made a small smile. "They are scared," she said. "They do not understand what happened. They want to know our secret. What do we tell them?" Powell asked. Elena thought for a long time. "We show them some of the truth," she said. "We let them see that the weapons are real. We let them understand that we could destroy them if we wanted to. But we also show them that we do not want to. We show them that we want to be partners, not enemies." Powell sent a message back. He invited Admiral Zexter to come to Earth. He said that Earth was willing to show some of the arsenal. He said that Earth wanted to talk about what the future could be. 2 weeks later, Admiral Zexter's ship came close to Earth. The ship was big and beautiful. It had scientists on it. It had military people on it. It had machines that could measure things and understand things. But when Zexter looked at Earth, he felt something that he had not felt in a very long time. He felt wonder. The planet was blue and green. It had white clouds that moved like living things. It had water that covered most of the world. It was beautiful in a way that meant something. It was not just a ball of rock and metal. It was alive. Powell met Zexter at the landing place. The Admiral was very tall. His body was like nothing that humans had. His skin was not skin. It was something harder. His eyes were not eyes. They were many-part things that could see things that human eyes could not see. "Welcome to Earth," Powell said. He put out his hand in the human way of greeting. Zexter looked at the hand. He did not understand. Then he reached out his own hand. The hands touched. It was a moment when the old galaxy and the new galaxy came together. It was a moment when everything began to change. "Your planet is beautiful," Zexter said. His words came through a machine that changed them into human sounds. "It is," Powell said. "It is worth protecting." "Then show me," Zexter said. "Show me what you built to protect it." They went deep under the ground. They went past soldiers and through doors that were very strong. They came to the arsenal. Powell showed Zexter the main weapon. It was made of something that looked like crystal. It had patterns that hurt to look at. It had power running through it that was almost alive. Elena explained how it worked. She used simple words and drawings. She told Zexter about the scientists who had found new ways to understand space. She told him about 30 years of work and study. Zex Thar listened to every word. He understood more than Elena could explain. He understood that humans had done something that the old powers of the galaxy thought was impossible. "You have changed everything," Zexter said. "The Council must understand this." He went back to his ship. He sent a long message to the Grand Council. He told them what he had seen. He told them what he had learned. He told them that the time of the Council being the most powerful was over. He told them that humans were the future. The message took 3 days to reach the Grand Council. When it arrived, everything changed. The Council began to vote on a new idea. The idea was to invite humanity to join the Council. The idea was to make humans equal. The idea was to make the galaxy work together instead of work with one power on top. The vote passed. Humanity was invited to join the Council. Back on Earth, Powell heard the news. He stood on the observation deck where everything had started. He looked at the stars. The stars looked back at him. The first war between humans and the Council was over. The real work was just beginning. Admiral Zexter stood on the ground of Earth. He had landed in a place called New York. The city was very big. It had tall buildings that went up into the sky. It had people walking on streets. It had noise and life and movement everywhere. Zexter had been to many planets. He had been to cities that were older than human civilization. But something about Earth felt different. Something about this planet made him think. The life here was not ordered and quiet. It was wild and loud. It was messy and confused. And somehow, it was more alive than anything he had ever seen. Captain Powell took Zexter to see different parts of Earth. They went to forests where trees grew so thick that no light came through. They went to oceans where water was so deep that it was black. They went to deserts where nothing grew but rocks and heat. "This planet is harsh," Zexter said. He could see in ways that humans could not. He could see that many things on Earth wanted to hurt other things. He could see that life on Earth had to fight to stay alive. "Yes," Powell said. "Earth is harsh. This is why humans are what we are. Everything on our planet fights everything else. We learned to fight early. We learned to think about enemies. We learned to plan for the worst. They came to the Arsenal facility. It was cut deep into the Earth. It was protected by walls and doors and machines that could shoot weapons. Inside, the air was cold and clean. Machines hummed with power. Elena was waiting for them. She was calm and did not look surprised that the Admiral had come. She showed Zexter the machines and the computers. She showed him the parts that did the most important work. "This is the core," Elena said. She pointed to the crystal-like thing that was the center of everything. "This is made from materials that we found deep under Earth's oceans. These materials have properties that do not exist in other places. When we found them, we understood that we had something special, something that could do things that nothing else could do." Zexter looked at the core. His many-part eyes moved across every surface. He could see energy moving through it. He could see patterns that he had never seen before. "How did you understand how to make this?" he asked. "Time and thinking," Elena said. "We spent 30 years studying this material. We learned how it worked. We learned what it could do. Then we learned how to make it do what we wanted. We built computers to control it. We built machines to shape it. We learned the language that this material speaks." "The language the material speaks," Zexter repeated. He was quiet for a long time. "I have been a commander for 1,000 years. I have studied weapons. I have studied science. I have studied the greatest minds in the galaxy. No one has ever told me that material has a language. Everything speaks, Elena said. Everything communicates. Stars communicate through light. Planets communicate through gravity. Material communicates through its structure. We learn to listen. We learn to understand. Then we learn to talk back. Zexter moved closer to the arsenal. He could feel the power inside it. He could feel the potential waiting to be used. He understood, in that moment, something that would change the galaxy forever. The arsenal is not your greatest weapon, Zexter said. It was not a question. It was something he already knew. Elena smiled. No, she said. The arsenal is our answer to fear. It is what we built because we thought we had to. But it is not our greatest thing. Our greatest thing is what made the arsenal. Our greatest thing is our minds. Our greatest thing is our way of thinking. Our greatest thing is that we never stop asking questions. Zexter understood. In one moment, he understood something that the Council had missed for 10,000 years. The Vorthen were powerful because they had power. The Kelthians were smart because they were smart. But humans were dangerous because they wanted to grow. They wanted to learn. They wanted to become more than they were. What will you do now? Zexter asked. We want to work with the galaxy, Elena said. We want to share what we have learned. We want to learn what you have learned. We want to make the galaxy better and stronger. But we will not give up who we are. We will not stop asking questions. We will not stop growing. Zexter sent a message to the Grand Council. In the message, he told them everything. He told them about the arsenal. He told them about the people and the planet. He told them that humans were not a threat to be destroyed. He told them that humans were a gift to the galaxy. He told them something else. He told them that the time of one power controlling the galaxy was over. He told them that the future belonged to all species working together. He told them that they must invite humans to the council as equals. The message was sent across the vast distances of space. It took 3 days for the message to reach Vethron Prime. When it arrived, the council began to talk about it. Some of the council members were angry. They did not want to share power with humans. They did not want to accept that their time at the top was over. But Councillor Foz was wise. He had lived for a very long time. He had seen empires come and go. He had seen power change hands. He understood that what Zexter was saying was true. If we fight humanity, Foz said, we will lose. They have proven this. If we accept humanity, we gain partners who can help us understand new things. We gain scientists who ask questions we have never asked. We gain a future that is better than the past. The vote was held. The motion to invite humanity to the council was put before all the members. Some voted yes. Some voted no. Some did not vote because they did not know what to do. But the yes votes were more. More members wanted to accept humanity than wanted to reject humanity. The message was sent to Earth. The message said that humanity was invited to join the Galactic Council. The message said that humans were recognized as equals. The message said that the galaxy was about to change. On Earth, people heard the news and did not understand it at first. Humans had been alone for so long. Humans had thought that the galaxy was against them. Now the galaxy was saying they were welcome. Powell stood on the observation deck where he had stood so many times before. He looked at the stars. He thought about the future. He thought about what it would mean to have humanity take its place among the great powers of the galaxy. Elena joined him at the window. Are you afraid? She asked. Yes, Powell said. I am afraid, but I am also hopeful. The next part of human history is beginning, and it will be like nothing we have ever seen before. The galaxy was changing. Humanity was no longer alone. The arsenal had started the change, but the real change would come from something deeper. It would come from the human mind. It would come from the human spirit. It would come from the human heart that always wanted to grow and become wars. Ambassador David Brennan sat in the Grand Council chamber for the first time. He was human. He was Earth's first true representative to the Council. He looked around at the representatives from 200 different species. They had come from different worlds. They had different bodies. They had different ways of thinking. But they were all here because they wanted to share power and make decisions together. Brennan felt something move in his chest. It was not fear. It was not pride. It was something older and deeper. It was the feeling that humans belonged here. It was the feeling that humans had something to give to the galaxy. The meeting began. The leaders of each species spoke. They talked about problems in different parts of the galaxy. They talked about planets that needed help. They talked about science that needed to be done. They talked about the future. When it was Brennan's turn to speak, he stood up. The chamber became quiet. Every eye looked at him. Every mind waited to hear what the new species would say. "Humans are young," Brennan said. His voice was strong and clear. "We have only been in space for a short time. We have only built a few colonies. We do not know as much as you know. We do not have as much power as you have. But we have something that we want to share with you. We want to share the way we think. We want to share how we learned to solve problems that we thought were impossible. We want to help the galaxy grow." The chamber was quiet for a moment. Then the representatives began to make sounds that meant they agreed. It was not clapping like humans do. It was different sounds that meant yes and acceptance. After the meeting, scientists from different planets came to Brennan. They wanted to meet with human scientists. They wanted to understand how humans had built the arsenal. They wanted to learn the way that humans thought about problems. Dr. Elena Rodriguez was waiting to meet with the Council's scientific group. They came from many different planets. Some had tentacles. Some had wings. Some had bodies made of things that humans had never seen before. But all of them wanted to learn. "The arsenal is made from materials and science," Elena began. "But it also comes from a way of thinking. We do not accept that something is impossible. We look for new ways. We ask questions that seem stupid. We work on problems for a very long time without giving up." A scientist from the Sheta Collective asked, "But how did you discover the principles that the arsenal uses?" "By accident," Elena said. A young scientist named James Patterson was studying something completely different. He was looking at why certain materials bent light in unusual ways. While he was studying this, he noticed something that should not happen. Light was bending in a direction that did not make sense. He could have said that his equipment was broken and moved on. But instead, he asked why. He spent 3 years studying this one strange thing. And from that one strange thing, the arsenal was born. The scientists began to take notes. They wanted to understand this process. They wanted to learn how humans could find new things by paying attention to mistakes and strange things in the research centers all around Earth. Scientists from the galaxy began to arrive. They came to learn. They came to understand. They came to help. For the first time, human scientists were working with scientists from the most advanced species in the galaxy. Back on Earth, people saw that the future was changing. Children in schools learned that they would grow up in a galaxy where humans were equal to all other species. They learned that they might meet aliens from worlds that humans had never heard of. They learned that the future was bigger than Earth. It was bigger than the solar system. It was the whole galaxy. Captain Powell was given a new job. He was made the commander of the Earth Defense Force, but his job was different now. He was not preparing for war. He was preparing for peace. He was training soldiers who would work with soldiers from other planets. He was building the alliance that would keep the galaxy safe. One day, Powell and Elena stood together on the observation deck of the new Earth space station. This was a different station from the one where everything had started. This station was bigger. This station had people from many different planets working together. "Do you remember when we were afraid?" Elena asked. "Yes," Powell said. "We were afraid that the arsenal would not work. We were afraid that the council would destroy us. We were afraid that we would not survive. And now?" Elena asked. Powell looked out at the ships in the station. They were human ships. There were Vorthan ships. There were Kelthian ships. There were ships from species that had no names in human language. They were all working together. They were all building something new. "Now, I am afraid that we will make mistakes," Powell said. "Now, I am afraid that we will not understand each other. Now, I am afraid that we will waste this chance that we have been given." Elena smiled. "That is better fear," she said. "That is the fear of someone who cares about something important." In a research center near Moscow, Dr. James Patterson was teaching human scientists and scientists from other planets. They were all working on the next step. They were trying to understand if the arsenal could be made stronger. They were trying to understand if there were other things that material could do that they had not discovered yet. The arsenal was not the end, Patterson told the students. It was just the beginning. It was just the first thing that we learned from understanding how the universe really works. There are 1,000 other things waiting to be discovered. There are 1,000 other ways that matter and energy and space can work together in new ways. The students listened. Some of them were human. Some of them came from worlds that orbited red stars. Some of them came from space stations that floated between stars. But they all had the same look on their faces. They all had the look of people who understood that they were part of something big. Months passed. Then years. The arsenal remained Earth's greatest secret, but it was no longer used as a weapon. It was studied. It was understood. Scientists from the galaxy began to understand the principles that made it work. But something unexpected happened. As scientists worked together, they began to find new principles. They found ways that the arsenal could be improved. But more than that, they found new weapons and new tools that could do things the arsenal could not do. Scientists from the Vorthan worked with humans to build better shields. Scientists from the Kelthians worked with humans to build faster ships. Scientists from 100 different planets worked with humans to build a better galaxy. And humans were not just learning. Humans were also teaching. The human way of asking questions. The human way of paying attention to small, strange things. The human way of not giving up when something seemed impossible. These things were beginning to change the way that all the galaxy's scientists worked. The arsenal changed the politics of the galaxy. But it was human thinking that changed the future. 100 years after the First War began, Earth was the center of the greatest scientific civilization in the galaxy. Humans had discovered things that no one else had discovered. Humans had built things that no one else could have built. Humans had become not just equal to the old powers, but leaders among all the species. And it had all started because one species, a young species on a harsh planet, had refused to give up. It had started because humans asked questions. It had started because humans looked at the impossible and decided that impossible was just a word. The galaxy would never be the same. The galaxy had discovered humanity. And humanity had discovered that the universe was much bigger and much stranger and much more wonderful than they had ever imagined. The arsenal was a weapon. But the real power was in the hands that built it. The real power was in the minds that created it. The real power was in the hearts of people who saw the future and decided to build it. And that power would keep growing for 1,000 years to come.